get the number that we get. So this year we actually got over 50 teams that applied, and our first round of judges had the daunting task of narrowing that down to 5 teams who are going to be the finalists that you guys are going to see today. The way that the judges are going to look at these teams are going to be based on their business ideas. They're going to look for uniqueness, feasibility, don't turn off, and then the team's idea and ability to impact people. So those are the 3 main categories of what we're going to be looking at. But first, I'd like to introduce our judges to you. All the way to my left, to your right, I guess, we have Mr. Ron Ricotta, who's the president, CEO, and co-owner of Century Mold, which is a $100 million injection molding company with locations in Rochester, Nashville, Dayton, Detroit, Chihuahua, Mexico, and they have another site under construction in Mexico City. Mr. Ricotta is also an RIT alumnus. Next to him, we have Mr. Bill Jones, who is the Director of Venture Creations here on campus at RIT. For those of you who don't know, Venture Creations is actually, I guess, technically not on campus, right on John Street, just a couple minutes away. And Venture Creations provides mid-seed stage companies a place where they can advance their concepts on their way to joining the ranks of profitable, viable businesses here in upstate New York. Next to Bill, we have Mr. Mark Boylan, who is temporarily filling in for Dean Ashrao from the College of Business, who will be joining us shortly. But Mark is the Senior Director of Development at the College of Business and has lots of experience working with entrepreneurs and students. So we have a very, very accomplished panel of judges that we're lucky to have this time. So the basic rules of the competition are simple. There's 5 teams. Each team has 5 minutes to present their idea. Most of them will be using some sort of slides so you can kind of view their ideas as they're going along and describing things. After that, the judges will have 5 minutes to ask questions, and then we'll bring the next team along. It's going to be quick. We're going to try to get you guys out of here by 6:30 or 7. Once the competition is over with, or once all 5 teams have presented, we will take the judges kind of out into a secret room where they're going to look at the rankings and kind of figure out how the team's placed. The neat thing is all the teams that you see today are going to walk away with something. And the first prize, which is truly a grand prize, is going to walk away with $2,000. The second prize is $1,250. Third prize is $750. Fourth prize is $500, and then 5th prize is going to be $250. So you can see there's a lot at stake for these teams. And I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first team that we're gonna bring up is Mobile Braille Translator. It's gonna be presented by Jordan Darling. And this is a device that enables the deaf and blind to communicate with others where they haven't been able to do so before. And Jordan's gonna tell us how he's gonna do that.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Darling. I'm a sophomore in Mechanical Engineering Technologies. I'd like to start off tonight by asking all of you a question. How many of you send and receive text messages daily? To friends, to family? I would like to open up that world to the blind and to the deafblind. The device I have invented is what I call a mobile braille translator. This is a device that enables the blind and the deafblind to be able to communicate with others. I'll translate the text to braille using an app, or translate the text to braille using a tactile output device. How the braille is presented has not been set in stone. There are several different options to presenting braille, and I would like to thoroughly test each option to pick the best one for my device. The mobile braille translator will plug into a mobile device, such as a smartphone, using USB or headphone cords. Will get its required power from that device. The market for my device is surprisingly quite large. There's an estimated 39 million blind people worldwide. These children, teens, and adults need a simple and effective way to communicate. without having to buy special phones, computers, or laptops. My goal is not to make money, but to help the blind and the deafblind enter the wireless world. I plan to do this by teaming up with RIT and producing a prototype. Once this prototype is made and thoroughly tested, I plan to license it to Apple and/or Amazon and allow them to sell it under their name. If a user would like to use a laptop computer, they would simply plug the device into the side of the computer and use it to read text. And if they would like to respond back, they can use a device called a Braille keyboard overlay. This is a membrane that you place on top of the keyboard and has tactile text above each key. If the user would like to use an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod Touch, they would once again plug the mobile Braille translator to the side of the device and use it to read text. If they would like to respond back, they can use an app called Braille Dynamic Keyboard. This is an app that syncs the user's fingers to the screen of the device and allows them to send and receive text without having to see or hear. The competition for mobile Braille translators is quite small. Other devices exist, but they perform and serve the same purpose as mine would. Mobile Braille translator is universal to all mobile devices. This will allow the users to purchase the readily available smartphones, computers, and tablets, and simply plug in and go. Deaf and deaf-blind individuals are currently unable to communicate effectively using text messaging, voice calling, or simply speaking to hearing people. So my product will provide them a way to join the wireless world and give them a way to communicate. Thank you.
So now we'll open it up for you to ask questions. I think what I'm going to do is have you. We'll just have you.
Looks like a great idea. I guess, can you hear me? Mm-hmm. It looks like a great idea. I'm not overly familiar with this process, but if someone is blind or deaf, their voice can't be communicated through a device, so you're looking to have be able to use their fingers to...
Well, blind people, obviously, most of them can speak.
Right.
But for the people who are blind and deaf, their main way of communicating is with devices like this, or they can read sign language beneath their hand. But obviously, that's not very effective. Not everyone knows sign language.
Okay.
So with this, they could plug it into, say, an iPhone, and if someone wants to talk to them, they speak into the iPhone. This app, Dragon, converts that to text, and then that puts it onto my device, which they simply just place their finger on and they can read what they're saying through the device.
Very good. And you said you didn't have a profit motive, so you'll be turning this technology over to an Apple or someone like an Apple for a licensing right to do some base research and take it?
Yeah, I would license it to them and then allow them to produce it and sell it under their name.
Okay, thank you.
What's the exact status of your development right now?
Right now, it's just an idea that I've had, and I've looked into ways to presenting Braille. Like I stated, there's several different options, either presenting it as one letter or several letters to fill out an entire word. So I was just looking to get it started here at RIT, make several different prototypes, whatever works the best, then present that to Apple and or Amazon.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about what you have found in the competitive world?
Yeah, there's other devices out there. They usually are a lot larger, less portable. There's no way to translate, say, what someone's saying to it. The main device out there that's similar to it, you use a cell phone, you type text messages to it, and then it puts it into this device, and they can read the Braille from that. But for saying plugging it into a Kindle or a Nook and reading books, those devices won't work for that. With this, you can plug right in and the user can read a book.
How many blind and blind deaf people did you say there were?
Worldwide, last year they said there was 39 million blind people, and in there was the blind and deaf. I think they estimated 15,000 blind deaf individuals.
And then, do you have any idea what type of share or penetration you have within the audience?
Say it again?
Any idea what kind of penetration you have in that?
I spoke with the the Helen Keller Institute, And I talked to them, asking them what kind of devices are out there like this, and they said there is nothing that would work as my device would, and they said that there'd be a large demand to actually get calls all the time for devices similar to this.
And they'd have to pay for it?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay. How would you make them aware of it?
Once I could produce the prototype, I was planning on talking to a lot of companies, but my main concern was to get it to Apple and Amazon and allow them, since everyone knows Apple, everyone knows Amazon, allow them to market it and sell it. And then obviously they would license, pay me to use the product. Thank you.